And welcome back to Who Would Win. That's the week Who Would Win, by the way. The week Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from David Atkinson, who asked the question, who would want to fight? Kratos versus Scorpion. Should note, by the way, this Sunday is the Kratos versus Asura fight on Death Battle, so stay tuned for that reaction on Sunday. But, yeah, Scorpion. Now, we know the general background of both these guys. He's a demigod. He's a demigod. Zeus, Kratos, son of Zeus. He became the god of war when he killed Ares, when Ares tricked him into killing his family. God, Wednesdays, am I right? But he ultimately slayed all but, I think, Aphrodite. He slayed all the gods of Olympus. And then he moved on to Ragnarok and, well, not Ragnarok, but the Norse mythology and their pantheon. I guess the next place to go would be Egypt or maybe Japan. They've got plenty of Shinto gods and things like those lines. Tsukiyome, Susanoo. It's not impossible. Or we're dealing with Asura's. We have the Asura fight. Go to India. There you go. Anywho, Kratos is the god, or at least was the god of war. He is insane. He is insanely powerful. Like, he's got strength to match individuals who move the heavens and the earth. He's got, he can match like Atlas. He can match Kronos in terms of raw strength. He's durable enough to literally survive being impaled by the blade of Olympus. He's got numerous weapons on call. Now, granted, he lost a lot of his godly strength when we got into the other games, the later games. He still had a portion of it, but we know that he did lose a chunk of it. But either way, we're looking at him as peak, clearly. He also has the Leviathan axe, which is essentially Mjolnir, but as an axe, and can't channel lightning. He also has the Blades of Sparta, which he reattached to his body. Or at the very minimum, I believe he wrapped it around his arm to basically use it like he used to, which are two fiery blades attached to chains which allow him to, use range attacks, slice individuals. He's overpowered embodiments of like wills before, like concepts, like I think like pure rage or willpower. He's in the form of a bear. I know he's overpowered that in like a graphic material. He's a skilled warrior. Obviously, he was a Spartan general. He was the ghost of Sparta. Or is still, I guess, the ghost of Sparta, because he's still got the ashes of his family bound to his skin. He's an insane fighter. Now, he's not infallible. We need to be very clear about that. He is not infallible. That being said, he is strong enough to overpower like deities of the underworld, like Hades, rip their souls out with special weapons. But like I said, he's not infallible. For instance, if we're talking about in game, he can be beaten. You can only have so much power and health you can go by, and then I believe you got to fight your way out of the underworld or something like that every time. He's also still capable of getting his ass kicked. Like him and Zeus were going toe to. I mean, he beat Zeus, but they still were going toe to toe for a while. It said their fight shook the heavens, which context is key, but still, it was like threatening and kind of threatening things on a wide scale. So Kratos is insanely powerful. If we're talking about how powerful an individual is, Scorpion is nowhere near as strong inherently as Kratos is. He's still got enhanced strength. I would argue he's the far better fighter, though. He's a trained martial artist. We know that he's skilled with using throwing kunais on chains. Get over here. And I can't remember the actual fighting style of that, the name of it. But it's a skilled fight. It's a unique fighting style that takes a lot of practice to know. And he's a master of it, particularly because of the fact he can throw chains from his hands. He also can spew hellfire from his mouth and just incinerate someone, burn their soul down. He usually wields either like an axe or a sword as well. But he can be killed and defeated. But the thing is, his soul just goes back to hell. And as long as he's in hell, he continues to grow stronger. So in a battle of attrition fight, the question is whether or not someone can just overpower him in hell. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in the actual real world, in the living world, I guess is a better way to put it, in a fight between Kratos and Scorpion, Kratos is coming out on top there. Scorpion's going to be annoying for him to deal with. There is no question in my mind about that. Oh, I forgot the cool multiplying spear he has. He got from the dwarves in Norse in the later games. That was a cool weapon. But point being, uh, skill-wise, again, Scorpion certainly's got, I think, the skill advantage over Kratos. But Kratos, A, has a bigger arsenal, and B, is physically just more powerful. And he's no slouch in hand-to-hand combat either. Now, that being said, if he were to, say, get in close and maybe even throw punches and start beating on him, Scorpion probably can, work around him, kind of like grapple, jump, whatever, maybe try to choke him out. Or he can try to, use his, chains to stab him in the throat. The problem I see with that is I just don't know if the chains have enough power to, like, pierce Kratos, like, all the way through. Basically to get a lethal hit. Like, if it hit him in the throat, would that mean, like, go through his throat, or would it basically kind of mildly pierce his throat? If it hit him in the chest, would it be like, ah, or would it be like, dink, oh, it's only like a centimeter in. Okay. I'd be more inclined to think the latter. I'd be more inclined to think it wouldn't be able to really pierce him, because he is very durable, especially if we're looking at him at his peak, which we'd be doing here. Not to mention he's got the reflexes to either catch it or just, slice it with a weapon. And weapon to weapon, that's not really any contest. So Kratos clearly has the edge here. But the question would be, if the fight were to take place more in, say, the Underworld, Hell, where Scorpion grows stronger and stronger as time goes on, would that change things? And I think it all depends on if Kratos is smart enough to realize, A, where he is, B, what's going on. Because if he's not, then eventually, hypothetically, yeah, Scorpion should be able to beat him, but he's going to be going down a lot, multiple times over before that happens. But the problem here is that Kratos actually has a perfect weapon to deal with someone like him. And I believe I don't remember the actual name, but it's the soul-stealing scythe he got when he was in Hades, the Underworld, or from Hades, or either, was it from Hades or in Hades, or the Underworld, if you will. He hits Scorpion with that, Scorpion's done. There's nothing Scorpion can do against that. He's got no resistance to something like that. So either way, I'd probably go Kratos in this fight. This is obviously just my personal opinion, but I do think Kratos is almost certainly going to take the very large majority of these fights. Now, if a certain amount of time passes in Hell, and then he maybe hits him in the head with the kunai, that could be a killing blow at that point, because his power is just amped for a while being in there. But long and short of it, it's going to be Kratos 9 times out of 10, easy. Maybe even, if we're doing like percentages, which I don't normally do anymore, like 97, 98% of the time is Kratos, with maybe like a 2% chance Scorpion could get a win. But it's Kratos. I think we can agree on that. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments below. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.